Today, we're going to be trading in a box full of complete trash, absolute garbage retro games, and we're going to be going around to multiple locations, multiple stores all around the city and comparing the offers that we get. Is there going to be a difference in the offers we get? Is there a standard template that these stores use, or are some of these guys ripping you off? And not only are we going to be looking to get a deal on the trade-in side, we're going to be looking to purchase some games as well. And we're looking for a steal of a deal on the games. Can we get a deal from our local game stores? And what kind of deals can we get? How often can we catch them slipping on the price? And I'll show you what kind of deals we are able to find, because a lot of them are unable to keep up with the market value of the games. And you can get deals, but more importantly, we're focused on the trade-in side. I've got a box of games and we're looking to see what kind of offers we get. Is it worth it for you to shop around when trading in your games?
I managed to escape the city. Cops are still looking for me. They ain't never gonna find me. I'm headed to a new province, and we're gonna go find some retro games while we're at it. We're gonna stop at every single retro game store on the way to my new hideout.
All right, so this is all the games that I'm going to try to trade in. I'm going to go to 3 different stores and see who offers the best amount, but more in particular, what the difference is between who offers what. Is one store only giving you 10, 15, 20%? Another store is giving you 50%? We will find out. I'll show you what each of these... I price charted these out, and I'm not expecting to get full value because condition plays a factor. Look at this NHL 14. Not good condition. Almost every game in this pile is a hard-to-sell game, except for games like Legend of Dragoon there. But NHL 94, price charts for $14.95 Canadian, $10.77 USD. Legend of Dragoon, price charts for $66.13 Canadian, $47.65 USD. John Madden, $5.23 Canadian. Again, terrible condition. It's a sports game. I'll be lucky if I get $1. I'll try to clean up that grime. I'm sorry you had to witness that. I'll do my best to clean that up. Looks like dog feces. Yeah, he's probably not even going to accept this, to be honest. I wouldn't accept it. John Madden 64, CIB. Actually, pretty good condition. This is about $20.63 Canadian. 28.63 Canadian, 20.63 USD. Spider-Man loose GameCube, 11.38 Canadian, 8.20 USD. Game Genie, but the sticker is falling off a little bit. Surprisingly high. It's worth 28.63 loose Canadian, I do believe, or 38 60 something, 38 60 something Canadian, shockingly. 27.86 USD. F1 Career Challenge, rather high on price charting, 17.32 Canadian, 12.48 USD. Tony Hawk Underground CIB. Actually, I'm going to keep that one. We'll see. We'll see what they offer me for the other one. NHL 2002 is 8.31 Canadian, 5.99 USD. This is a game, I'll be lucky if they even take it. So maybe this is a game that, although price charting says a certain number, they might give you 50 cents or $1. Pawn Shop will give you $1. Tony Hawk Underground disc and case only. I'm valuing disc and case only at loose disc value because I think it's realistic. Loose disc is 1664. That's what I wrote down. Canadian, 11.99 US, surprisingly. Tony Hawk Project 8, 7.72 Canadian. Loose disc value, 5.56 USD. Mod Nation Racer, What's this go for? 1137 CIB. This case is actually really good condition. I would have considered case swapping if it wasn't too late. I am on the run, so there's no going back now. Cops have been looking for me. So I'm laying low for a while. 819 USD. Layer. Good game. Underrated. So bad it's good, perhaps. A lot of potential. Untapped potential. 952 loose. Canadian. 686 US. Final Fantasy X2. This should be an easy seller for them. CIB. What's this one going for? 1095. These actually do sell. CIB 1095 Canadian, 789 US. Black. This is a good game. I've heard good things about this one. Black. Case is not good condition though. It's a little bit rippled. I don't know what causes that, but it's rippled. Beat up. See, these are all hard to sell games, or at least to get maximum value out of them without trying to angle your pictures and scam somebody on eBay, which a lot of sellers do. Black is going for 1803 CIB. Wow. 1299 USD. That's really high. SmackDown versus Raw 08. This is going for 1746 Canadian CIB. Or 1258 USD. Beatdown, I'm going to case swap this with the NHL game. I forgot to do it earlier. Beatdown Fists of Vengeance is going for 15. No, loose is 1112, I think, if I wrote that right. If I treat this as loose, no manual. CIB is 1837 USD. Or CIB, Canadian. 13 something USD, loose. Lastly, NHL 13. Another game store wouldn't accept this. They said my disc was cracked. It probably is, but I'm going to try again. It's a very small crack, but I guess they don't want any cracking. And a lot of these 360 discs were prone to cracking easily, which is a real shame. And that one, see, I'm using a napkin over here, guys. That's why it's hard to read which game is which. NHL 13. CIB 1738 Canadian, 1252 USD. I'm using a napkin. I'm on the run. I ain't got paper. You got to use what you can. You got to be resourceful. I'm also going to try to trade in this controller. I don't know what it's worth. I didn't price chart it. If I can get $5, I'll be extremely ecstatic. If I can get $3, I'll take it because it's too thick to ship. These games need to be resurfaced, so I'm going to try to find a store that'll resurface them for a cheap amount. These are worth about maybe 20 Canadian each, but they don't work right now. And this one also needs to be resurfaced. So the total comes to $304.28 Canadian. If I get 30% value, I would get $91.50, which is what I'm expecting, and that's trade-in value, not cash. Traditionally, you would get 50% trade-in value from a good store, but these are not good condition games. So I'm not necessarily expecting that. I'm expecting a lowball offer that they would probably consider fair, and maybe it is fair, of 30%. But if I get closer to 50%, it would be $152.50 for games that are otherwise very hard to sell, or at least maximize the value due to the condition of some of them, like the sticker. One more thing I forgot is I'm going to see if a store will accept this for trade-in. Some sort of sealed Mario toy of some sort. I don't think it's worth much, but if they give me $1 or $2, I would be very happy. I found 2 other things I'm going to trade in, or attempt to. I'll see what they'll give me for a Tetris Game Boy booklet, instruction manual, and a King of the Ring. And these are my OGs, by the way. What you're looking at right here, the very first 2 games that I ever got for Game Boy. Tetris came with the Game Boy, if I remember correctly. We didn't have to buy that. It was packed in. It was pack-in title. Got this for Christmas. Came with the Game Boy.
whatever Christmas that I got the Game Boy, probably when it first came out, I don't know, 93, 92, who knows, 91. And with my Game Boy came one game that my mother bought me, King of the Ring Wrestling. I really enjoyed this game. I know it sucks. And even back then I knew it sucked, but I still enjoyed it. You could play as my favorite wrestlers. That's really all it took back then. So I'm here at the first store, just for fun video games here in Edmonton. And I'm going to try to trade this box in. We'll see. Actually, I'm going to tell the guy straight up. I'll tell you my plan. I'm going to be honest about it. I'm going to go in there because I don't want him to think that I'm being a dick after I reject the offer and then leave and then come back later. I'm just going to tell him, hey, I'm running an experiment. I just want to see what I could potentially get for these games. And then I might come back later to trade them in. There's the store down there, guys. I ain't playing around. We're going to cash her in. Just want to show you the proof. I put my money where my mouth is, boys. No cops in sight right now, so we're gonna be able to safely perform this transaction. Alright, so I got bad news. Most of these games they would not accept. He offered me like $65 for this batch of games here. He wanted the Game Genie, which is good. I mean, this is actually not as common as you think. Oh, he fixed the sticker for me. So, Game Genie's good. F1 Career, he wanted this. Bit of a rare game, I take it. I heard it's good. He wanted SmackDown and both Tony Hawk's. Tony Hawk's a hot ticket item. And he also wanted the Mario toy. Which is good. Because I don't want this. But he didn't want Legend of Dragoon due to condition. And a lot of the other games he just has too many copies and or there's condition issues. Like the case is busted on Beatdown. OG Xbox. And he just doesn't want it. Like, look at the case. It's dirty. I mean, I should have cleaned it up. That's my bad. But it's still broken regardless. So it's practically loose disc only. I mean, I don't know if I want to give him both my Tony Hawks, though. But you know what? I probably would. Maybe. Legend of Dragoon, apparently one of the discs is really beat up. I didn't know. Disc 3. So I didn't realize that. I thought it looked just fine. But if that's the case here, then unfortunately this entire batch of games, it ain't worth much. You know? It's the way it is. He didn't even want this GameCube game. I mean, I checked the back of the disc, Spider-Man. Loose disc. I checked the back. It was in good condition. So, like Beatdown, he straight up said, you know, the disc is mint, but the case is not good. He wouldn't take John Madden, understandably, plus it has a hole in it. Plus some idiot wrote Tello at the back. Wait a minute. I know who that idiot is. That means this is my copy. I borrowed it off of my buddy Ken. Oh, frig, it's dirty. Oh, I gotta clean that up. You know what? I'm not even gonna bring this into the next... I didn't bring anything to clean it with. I forgot about that. Oh. Oh well. I don't even know if I want to bring that in. It's embarrassing showing people that. Like, that's dog feces. How does that even happen? And I can't even complain because I think this is mine and I borrowed it from my buddy Ken. So, you know, I'll go to one more store, and if he says basically the same thing, I'm not taking half of the games. I'll take half of these. Cherry picks the good ones. Probably it's going to be the same ones. Then that's a wrap for the experiment, guys, and I'll just go to whoever offered me the highest of the two stores. All right, guys, it's looking slim. Oh yeah, the last place wanted to charge me $8 to repair these discs. Not worth it, buddy. Not worth it. Most places I've been to charge $3. That's a fair price. Mario Party is beyond repair, unfortunately. I got scammed on that one. from a seller that I don't really buy from anymore, or at least not much from. And what I'm willing to pay from him is very low, whereas before I was willing to pay a decent amount. So let's see what this next store gives me here. I'm close to downtown right now. Now it's just basically a matter of how many games they're willing to take. Because, the last offer wasn't too bad for trade-in for the ones that he wanted. But he cherry-picked all the best ones. He didn't take any of the garbage. Except for this thing.
Press start to play. Let's go. Here we go! It's me, Mario!
Sometimes those EV game stickers get so old they just like turn into dust and can tear them, but depends on the era.
Edition Rampage World Tour on the 64, and it had one of them, and it's like an $1,800 game. So like Ryan's like, oh, you can only get those if you pre-order.
Alright, so here's the update. Interestingly enough, these guys also kind of wanted the same games, but they were willing to take the entire box. Which makes sense, actually, because what they do is they just give you nothing for the stuff that they don't want. Like, they'll mark this game. If they don't want it, they're defaulting to pawn shop prices, 50 cents. You know, not even 50 cents. You know, they would even take this. They just take the whole box. They just say, yeah, whatever. We'll take the whole box. Here's the price. They thought my discs were fine. They thought Legend of Dragoon discs were fine, which is what I thought too. But not much value. They offered me $70 for the entire box. I'm looking for what I discussed earlier, at least $90. And I think I lost my 360 remote. I think I left my remote at the other store, unfortunately, because I had a 360 remote. So I just realized that now. It went missing. That's a bit of a problem. So, by default, I think I'm going to go back to the old store because I can sell Legend of Dragoon online on Marketplace. I've sold it. I've had offers for it before, $35. So I can get $35 for that easy. So I'm going to sell that myself. I'm going to go back to the other store and take them up on their offer that they had offered me. What was it, $63, something like that, for a cup, like cherry pick all the good ones. But they left me a bunch of the garbage games, and I'll try to pawn those off somewhere else. Okay, I admit I lied. We're going to check out one more store because I just want somebody to take the whole dang box. You know, at this point, offer me 75, 80 bucks. I'll take you take the box for $80, I'll take it. Take the whole box, $80. Even though I'm getting ripped off because I can sell Legend of Dragoon for $35 easy. I know I can. I might even get $40 for it. Locally. But just to get rid of the dang box, like, there's so much garbage in here. You got to admit, it's the majority of everything in here is garbage. Condition is absolutely terrible for almost everything. So let's see what happens. I'm at the mall right now. I've been in this store years ago. It is rip-off prices, and I'm surprised that they stay in business because you got to understand that they're in a mall. It's very expensive for them to pay their rent. So I think that they offer pawn shop prices, and I can just about guarantee that, but let's find out.
Coming up.
Alright, so that store turned out to be the best one so far. Unfortunately, they were so busy in there, she said she didn't have time to price all these out individually, so she just hand-selected the two that she thought she might want. She also did not want Legend of Dragoon. The third disc don't look too good. They don't have a resurfacer. But she took my Madden 64, and they just use default pricing. You know, she's not trying to nickel and dime. It's whatever the system tells her because they're a franchise. So I took $12.50 Canadian for it. Great price. That's, you know, 40% value at least. 50% if it was valued at $25. That's a really good trade-in. That's CIB. And I bought with it, Stretch Panic, which was a steal of a deal, underpriced as is, because this game has been going up in price. With my store credit, I only paid $29.50 Canadian. Under $30 for, with taxes, for Stretch Panic. CIB from Game City here in Edmonton. And don't bother calling the FBI, RCMP, because I'm going to be out of here by the time this video goes live, buddy. I'm one step ahead of you already, because one of my viewers has been reporting me. And you know what? I might even come back to the store. She was really busy. They were, for whatever, really busy in there. And she, because I guess I didn't say the right words. I told her what I was doing. I said, I'm just curious what you'll give me for them. And that kind of turned her off. She's not the owner, I asked her. Very attractive lady as well. 69-year-old lady. She was pretty good looking. I'm actually thinking of going back in now because she was so busy. I bet you they would take these other games. Like, she happily took Madden. Why wouldn't she take Black? PS2. Like, PS2 is some of their best sellers in that store. And they need games. Their selection was really poor. Whereas the first store was saying, well, he already has enough of these. It's not that he didn't want the game. Or not that the discs were bad or something like that. But in many of the cases, he said he already has too many copies. So he doesn't want any more because they're just going to sit on the shelf. He's got to wait for them to sell. Tony Hawk, everybody wants this one. I know this is a hot seller. You can sell this any day of the week. I'm thinking of going on eBay. I'm thinking, screw you guys. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it going with these guys. SmackDown versus Raw. Maybe I'll go on eBay with that one too. I'm having second thoughts of even trading that in. Now, Game Genie's a tough sell though. On eBay, that's too thick to ship with letter mail. That's the problem with that one. And nobody wanted Tony Hawk's Project 8. This is the mall I'm at with Game City. We're going to try and trade in this new box of games. I cherry-picked. I took all the good ones out. This is what we got left. We're going in. I'm going to try to ask her, you know, if she can make the time to price them, because they're franchise, and I think this is my best bet. They're just using whatever the computer tells them. She's just an employee, not a game expert. And that's the money spot. Guys, I just got a steal of a deal on these 4 games right here. I'm going to jail. They called the cops on the way out because I traded in a bunch of garbage games that they took. They didn't take all the games, though. They had too many of them. But they took some garbage. They gave me $17. I'm very happy with. I'll show you that in a minute because there ain't no time to explain. Some of these games are underpriced. Some of them are rare. Some of them, the price is going up. I got to get out of here because the cops are on their way and we're leaving the country. All right, I'm back at my hideout. And I just realized I only actually traded in 4 games in the end. And the rest I decided to throw up on eBay. Although I messed up because I should have just taken them all in. The lady confused me because she was telling me she didn't have time to look at them at first. But when I went back the second time, all of a sudden she had time to look at them. But I had already taken those games out. And I regret that because I'm curious if they would have given me 50%. Because I did the math, and they gave me a wide range of numbers. One of the games I got basically 50% value, but the other games I only got 34.26% value, which was rather low. I got overly excited. I did the math down here. Let's cover this up.
NHL 94 plus F1 plus NHL 13 comes to, plus Madden on this one, comes to 78.22. When I add all four together, I got 38% value because they only gave me 29.50. Now, NHL 13 would be really hard to sell anyway, but NHL 94 I could have sold very easily on eBay. An F1 Career Challenge would have been pretty hard to sell as well, but it is a rather rare game. I got 566 each, so that's very low. I could have sold NHL 94 even in its condition and gotten more on eBay. But regardless, it was a quick sale, 38% average value for the games, 2% under the 40 minimum that I would have rather preferred. But, it is what it is. Learn from my mistakes. But you got to remember, the other two stores would not accept those games. They would not accept them. This was the only store that would say, I'll take them, and here's the money. So that's what I got left, and this is what no store wanted. Nobody wanted these. They all said that they had too many in stock already. So here's what you also got to understand. I got $29.50 for 4 games. Whereas the second store that I went to offered me $70 for everything. And that includes this Game Genie, which they clearly valued at nothing, and Legend of Dragoon. So they were the biggest ripoff, whereas the first store, for just a handful of my best games, was offering me $63. And for 4 not very good games, I got $29.50 from the third store. So you got to shop around. And I got a whole bunch of rare games from that store. We're going to go over those games right now. So I might have got a little bit screwed on my trade-in with this third store, Game City. But I also screwed them on my game purchases. So we kind of balance each other out a little bit. But I think I still got the better end of the deal here. I'll show you why. I got Stretch Panic. And I'm going to throw up the charts for each of these. We'll discuss it. These are all undervalued. Onimusha, Dawn of Dreams. Onimusha Blade Warriors, going up in value. Everblue 2, Capcom. I don't know much about it, but I needed to buy something to get the free game. And it seems kind of cool. It's fairly priced. Fairly good condition. Onimusha 3, Demon Siege. All games are CIB, of course. This one is definitely rising. Stretch Panic, Hidden Gem. On the rise, $100 game coming up. So what I think I forgot to mention is that they had a buy 3, get 1 free sale, which means I had to get 4 games in total, which also means the 2 cheapest games were each 50% off. So I paid $15 each for those $30 games. Let's start off with the first game here, Stretch Panic. Paid $40. This is an example of a game that you can get for a good deal at your local game store. Paid 40 bucks. Canadian price charts for $65.52 with a clear uptrend. CIB. Recent sold listings, $83. I'll cherry pick the higher ones here. 83 bucks. 83 bucks. 83 bucks. 88 bucks. $83. How many 83s we got here? What, 4 or 5 83s right there? Couple of 90s. 96.57 must have been mint condition. This one pristine. Oh, he got a good deal on that one. Shipping, what was the shipping cost on that though? $69.29 over here. A lot of 60s and 80s going on right now. Hidden Gem, not very many people know about it, but the Hidden Gem is no longer very hidden. It's not so hidden anymore, and it's $65 today, going to $120 tomorrow. $47.28 USD. What else we got? Next up, Onimusha, Dawn of Dreams. The Onimusha games are doing great value-wise right now. most of them are trending up, and Dawn of Dreams is no different. A little bit of a parabolic move in recent times, so it may dip down, but it does have an uptrend. I do believe it will continue. It should be $100 right now. In fact, here's a $100 sold listing, but it does have a laser cell, rare laser cell game. CIB, 80 bucks, and I got it for $54.99, $80 Canadian, USD 57.26, and I paid less than that in Canadian dollars. $60 sold listing right here, $50 down here. This is probably free shipping, free shipping, free shipping. $53.99 USD. This game is going to continue to trend higher, I do believe. I'll go into more detail on these games in the future. Got Blade Warriors, another game that is getting a CIB copy. Shout out to Warehouse Dave. He let me know about this little hidden gem. The game's really not that good. It's a Smash Bros style clone, but it doesn't do the Smash Bros style very good. But it's rare. Getting a CIB copy in particular, very rare. And the chart can testify to that. It's a game that not very many people know is rare, but more people are finding out about it. It's got a clear uptrend, slow and steady uptrend. And currently price charts for $47.72, but because I got one game for free, it says I paid $30, but I actually paid $15. $15 for a $42 game at a local store. I didn't get this at a pawn shop. I didn't get this at a garage sale. You can get good deals. Even GameStop, you can get good deals at GameStop sometimes. Not often, but you can get good deals at even your local GameStop, your retro game GameStop, when they have sales such as buy 3, get 1 free type of deal. Try getting a CIB copy of this. Try to get it for a better price than that. You're never going to get it for a better price than 30 Canadian CIB. And then try getting it for 15 Canadian. You're not going to get it for that price. What are the recent sold listings? $40 all day, $55 down here, $48 down here, $52, $55, $48, $55, $55, $48, $51. A lot of 50s going on here, a lot of 55s going on over here. Next up, Onimusha Demon Siege. CIB. This is an interesting one. $15 again, $15. Woo! And again, really good price trend going on here. Parabolic move back in 2021, dipped right down to a more realistic level, but even down this level down here, this is still higher than the previous high. So it didn't crash. These are higher highs, or higher lows, sorry. It's making higher highs and higher lows. We've now taken out the previous all-time high, $25.99 USD. This chart is USD for those that are new. $27.99 is the current, no, $28.23 is the current all-time high. We're getting higher highs and higher lows. That's a clear uptrend. I paid $15, $27.99 USD. And depending on what happens here, we might even get a cup and handle formation here. This could be considered a cup forming. This is a round circular cup. If we get a handle over here, I'll put up a screenshot of the cup and handle formation. It's my favorite formation. I'm not an expert technician. I just know the basics. And when I see a cup and handle formation, I generally make money because there's an 80% chance that the game or the stock is going up, and games are like stocks. Supply and demand drives the price. It's pretty simple. It's not rocket science. It's $38 today. It's going to be $69 tomorrow. It's not going to happen overnight. Could be a year, 2, 3 years, who knows, but the trend is higher. Then I got Everblue 2, which I don't particularly want, but it is Capcom and it's a really unique game. And I was thinking I wouldn't mind trying it. It says there's find hidden treasures in the Caribbean. Like I've seen gameplay of this. I'm pretty sure I've seen YouTube, somebody playing the game. observe and interact with wildlife. I don't really know what you do, but I've seen people, you just scuba dive around and explore. Very casual game, I do believe. But it is Capcom, so I'm sure it's a high quality game for that casual setting. But where I got intrigued is that you can find hidden treasures. I wasn't aware of that previously. Seems pretty neat though. Now Chartwise is another story. It did get a very large boom starting in about 2021. Probably a big name YouTuber. Somebody must have mentioned this game as a rare kind of unknown game made by Capcom. And then she's been dipping ever since, but you know, as you can see, it's not going back to the 2021, 2020 levels, right? You can actually pretend that the dip never happened and you can draw a straight line and it would have just continued the uptrend. It is dipping a little higher at the moment, so we'll see if it works its way back up to that $40 US level. Paid $39.99, which is fair value because it trades around 37 Canadian dollars. Sold listings roughly in that same category. Sometimes you get it for cheaper. Maybe this was an auction down here, 15 bucks. Don't auction rare niche titles because people don't search commonly for those titles, so you won't get the bidding war. I've seen it happen a million times. You'll get one or two people that bid on it because nobody else is searching for it during that very short period of time because it's a very niche, odd title, rare game. But yeah, $39.99. I had to get this one in order to get the free game, lowering the cost of the other $30 games down to $15 each. I think in the end I got a pretty good deal overall. I'm pretty happy overall. I guess I'm only disappointed that I didn't get rid of more games. So I got rid of 4 games. It's a love-hate relationship there. Learn from my mistakes. I probably would not have sold the NHL 14, or sorry, 94. That one I for sure would have gone to eBay. That's a very popular Sega Genesis. Sega Genesis NHL 94 is the most popular hockey game, and that's the reason it commands such a high price. These are current, this is not sold listings, but this is the cheapest on eBay to ship to a Canadian right now. This guy's the cheapest, $15 plus $4 shipping, so a $19 game. Even after fees, and yeah, I mean, definitely after fees, the shipping built in, $19 game, I would have gotten significantly more than the $5.66 that I was given. Now, mind you, mine was in a little bit less condition, but I could have undercut this guy price-wise. Oh, even mine was even in better condition than this one. And I would have undercut this guy anyway. You know, maybe he's priced a little high. He's got a make offer down here, so he probably knows he's a little bit high. He's willing to come down. You know, $15 free shipping would also be fairly reasonable, which is closer to what it price charts for. But even at $15 free shipping, I would still get more than $5.66. But again, you know, quick sale, walk away clean. So I'm kind of happy, and I did enjoy that store in the end. It was quite a good store in the end. So we both scammed each other. They scammed me in the end, and I scammed them in the end. And perhaps we balance each other out a little bit, but I think I still win. With Stretch Panic and all these other good games, I think I got the better deal.
Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. I do retro gaming content and Nintendo Switch content on this channel. I talk about rare games, hidden gems, game prices, economics of game collecting, all that sort of thing. You ain't going to get a better list of games from the rare games in hidden gem category than my channel right here. And shout out to all my Patreon supporters. Thank you so much. It does mean a lot. You keep the channel going. All the support keeps the channel going. All the comments, all the people that smash the like button, all your mothers that support me and give me good deals. The whole town knows, buddy. Your mother gives great deals. I'm always getting deals. That's why cops are looking for me. Somebody keeps reporting me. I'm on the FBI Most Wanted list right now, America's Most Wanted. Thank you so much for the support, though. And I'll see you again next week. And unless I'm in jail. If I'm in jail, you ain't going to see me next week. So you better subscribe now, buddy. Channel might be disappearing any minute now. You guys are driving me nuts. You know, if I end up in prison, you know, somebody's going to have to smuggle me in a cell phone and a bunch of retro games.